So what's up, people? Well, I'll say this at the beginning of the video this time. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Anyway, let's talk about this whole situation with Square Enix for a second. So Square Enix reportedly say they are aware of Expedition 33 and that they value turn-based RPGs. At the Square Enix shareholders meeting, one investor said they would like the new Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy games to be turn-based and highlighted Expedition 33 success as an example. Square Enix responded that they are aware of Expedition 33 and believe that command-based RPGs are the origin of Square Enix. They value the genre command-based RPGs and plan to continue delivering such games in the future. And there's a couple of corrections. The person asked question is an investment media reporter, not an investor. No, this response does not mean the next mainline Final Fantasy will be turn-based, just that they'll continue to make turn-based games like they always and still are doing. So first off, I kind of expected that. I didn't expect Final Fantasy 17 to be turn-based. Simply because even though Expedition 33 is successful and turn-based games like Pokemon and God, what's that one? Baldur's Gate 3 is turn-based as well, and they're like super successful. I mean, you could make the argument that action games technically are more successful, like like God of War and like Spider-Man and like all those games that are selling like millions and millions of copies. But I would say, first off, I would say that Expedition 33 is not successful just because it's a turn-based game. Expedition 33, as someone who's played it, it's like the full package. Like the story's really good, the characters are really good, the music's really good. It has a lot of like good extra content in the game that even reveals more lore and everything. Like, I feel like it's just a complete package. And like that's why, in addition to like doing like having a awesome turn-based system, with dodging and parrying. I would say that that's why Expedition 32 is successful. It's not just like turn-based and that's it. And honestly, I feel like this shows that like nothing will really change for Square Enix, because I think what most people wanted was the next mainline Final Fantasy to be turn-based. Because Square Enix, they still make turn-based games like Dragon Quest, Octopath, Bravely Default. They have like a bunch of turn-based games that they are still making, still invested in. But when people say like they want, like I think people essentially want the next Final Fantasy mainline to be turn-based, which I assume wasn't going to happen anyway. Especially since like if it's already in production, with how much Final Fantasy I imagine costs based on like its presentation and you can just see the production quality in the game with like all the icon fights and stuff like that. If Final Fantasy 17 is already in production and it's like production costs are anywhere near Final Fantasy 16, then making a turn-based now would probably like cost them like millions and millions of dollars. So they're not going to do that, obviously. And this just shows me that nothing will really change for Square Enix. Like, it's just business as usual. Like, they're going to make turn-based games even without Expedition 33 releasing. They're going to keep making turn-based titles in the first place. So I'm not sure really Expedition 33 if it like change anything at all for the company. I doubt it. I think if they did make the next mainline Final Fantasy turn-based though, I think like based on IP alone, since it's Final Fantasy, it will, it'll do well, obviously. Or it'll have like a lot of sales because there's like a built-in Final Fantasy audience. And if they got the story and everything just right, then I could see it like getting like a crazy amount of sales as well. Because I feel like turn-based doesn't really filter as many people as you think, because people play Pokemon, people play Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah, I don't think it filters like as many people as like the companies think. But yeah, this is according to Genki, a Twitter user that I'm not familiar with. I'm not sure if like I'm not sure like if they have insiders or anything, but yeah, this is based on their tweets. Um, but yeah, Expedition 33, an amazing game. I have a gameplay of it on my channel, and it will likely win Game of the Year based on the titles that have released so far. I think people say like, what's that game? Death Stranding 2 is like a contender, but I don't know because Death Stranding 1 wasn't like really that much of a hit, and Death Stranding 2, I feel like it can't be like a huge departure from that, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I think that Square Enix will just keep doing what they're doing. Um, and I think the Expedition 33 really didn't change anything for them. I think that Final Fantasy 17 better work on like the story and like everything else before trying the turn-based route really. Because I mean, turn-based would be fun. Obviously, it is more fun to control more than one character. Because I know in Final Fantasy 16 you can only really control Clive. Like you had Torgal and like some like teammates and stuff, but you couldn't really control them. Like I think Torgal you could like direct them for some movements. But in Expedition 33 you can control every character and like work on their builds and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my thought process.